The right disaster supplies could mean the difference between life and death during a natural disaster. Hurricane Harvey, Irma, and Katrina. What do those names make you think of? Disasters and bad ones. And people who experienced them weren't all prepared. But you can be prepared if you put the time and money into creating a disaster supply kit. It takes some effort, but it's much better to be with than without. Find out the top 10 things you need to be prepared. While you're on that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Ready? Let's begin with 1. Water. One of the first things to go in an emergency is a safe water source. If there's any sort of flooding, assume it's not safe to drink tap water. Why? Any sort of breach of pipe can affect the entire system. When there's a hurricane or a flood, water collects in the sky/clouds. It also collects whatever debris and bacteria are on the ground and mixes them all together. It's why floodwaters always look a murky brown. They're like anything and everything soup. Your city will turn off water lines and access if the quality is breached. Which leaves you without water, a basic human need. 2. Radio. When the power goes out in an emergency, nothing will work. You may lose cell coverage as the networks or towers get damaged. You shouldn't use your phone much during an emergency to conserve power and to not use up the network, which emergency rescue crews need. So what do you use to get information about the storm when things are safe and when they aren't? You have to have a battery-powered emergency radio to find out when it's safe to leave the shelter. 3. Extra batteries. Extra batteries are essential because you never know when the ones in there currently will die out. You don't want to be left with no way to get information in a storm. Extra batteries will also power other things, like flashlights. If you're out of power overnight, they're essential for things like going to the bathroom. 4. Food. Another part of your emergency kit is food. You'll need non-perishable items that you don't have to cook. For most people, that means canned food, like canned spaghetti or soups. While cold soup isn't awesome, it's better than nothing. You can also buy bulk snacks at your local big box store. Try to find the box with the farthest out expiration date. That way you don't have to replace it that often. Make sure you get food that you and your family will actually eat. You're not going to sit there and eat canned chopped tomatoes. You need something reasonable. To eat these foods, you'll need a can opener and utensils. That's assuming that you're in your shelter and you don't have access to the rest of your house. Put a can opener, some plastic plates and utensils in your kit, just to be safe. 5. Baby wipes. If you're without water and power, you're going to get smelly fast. That's where baby wipes come in. You can take a baby wipe shower, which isn't the same, but it helps. You're likely in close quarters with other people, so the less you all suffer, the better. Some people put bags with basic cosmetics, like a toothbrush and deodorant in their kits. That's up to you. If you're in the middle of a natural disaster, and you don't brush your teeth for a few days, your dentist will forgive you. 6. Garbage bags. If worst comes to worst, you may have to urinate/defecate into plastic bags. It's not fun or ideal, but sometimes it's all you can do. If you're stuck in a shelter for days, you're going to need to go. That means that you'll need to have something to tie the bags closed with too. Hand sanitizer will help you keep germs at bay when you have to do your business in a small space. 7. A first aid kit. Having a first aid kit in your disaster supply bucket is essential. In it, you should put any life-saving medications that people use daily for about 4 days. If you can afford to get an entire bottle for emergency cases, that's even better, but a couple of days is enough for most people. Band-aids and other things, like alcohol wipes and ice packs, are good too. Ideally, the storm will pass and you'll never have to use it. But disasters cause injuries and you can't always get to the hospital. 8. Comfort items. Sleeping bags, blankets, and pillows are all essential. Even something as simple as a soft blanket can help keep kids calm in an emergency situation. If they have a special toy or a blanket, make sure to grab that before you shut yourself in. As far as toys go, don't overload your supply kit with them. A pack of cards, markers, and a coloring book are enough. You don't want to take up precious room in your shelter with unnecessary supplies. 9. Important documents. You should have a fire and waterproof box in your home where you keep important documents. That means things like social security cards, passports, bank account information, and emergency contacts. You should have some cash in this receptacle as well. You never know if you're going to have a house at the end of a disaster, so these things need to be with you or they risk getting destroyed. 10. A generator. If you can afford it, your kit/home should have 1 or 2 small diesel generators. It can help keep you online when the city power is out. Just make sure they have fuel and you have some on hand. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We post quality content daily. See you tomorrow and stay curious.